LSU's having a great year. Um, they're a very talented team, really well coached. Um, Will Wade's only been in the league now. This is just his second year, so people I don't think are very, obviously as familiar with him. The job he did at Chattanooga, and then at VCU, and then now at LSU. The combination of Waters and Naz Reid, really formidable as a point guard and a four-man. For us, that would be Jared Harper and Chumo Kiki, so just a great matchup there. Um, Waters, Jared Harper and Tremont Waters are two of the top two or three smaller point guards in the country. And, what a great matchup that's going to be, speed on speed. And, they both do it differently, but they're really important to their teams as scorers and playmakers, and the focal point of every scout. Reed is a first-round draft pick at some point. He is big. I mean, he's 6'11", 260, and moves like a guard. He could shoot over 50% from three in the SEC, and just really talented. Coming out of Roman Catholic High School, McDonald's All-American type, and they do a great job utilizing, the big kid Williams. He's just he block shots and rebounds, and really is kind of like a 6'11" Horace, and plays a great role. LSU rebounds 38% of their missed shots, so they're the number one offensive rebounding margin team, and they really do a great job of go getting it. It's like some of those guys rebound the ball in the offensive line like it's their play call. We played last year. We probably had our best offensive first half, maybe our best first half of the year here a year ago. When LSU breaks down that tape, it'd be hard pressed to see us play any better offensively than we did a year ago. Here, I think we made our first 7 shots and took control of the game, right away. I think we get a lot of credit for having a great home court advantage and playing really well at home. But I'm very proud of the fact that we won the last 2 times we've been down there, I believe. And that's hard to do. I don't know, maybe Cody will do the research, but I'm not sure, how many teams have won 2 in a row or 3 in a row, down there. I'm sure they'll be fired up and ready to go, and obviously it's a quadrant 1 opportunity for both teams.
I think Samir played for Will, right? Has he been
Yeah.
in a unique situation?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you. I don't know what their contact level is now, but I can tell you that Will had great things to say about Samir. He left VCU, and Samir left at that time. And he had nothing but praise. Thought I would be a good coach for Samir, given knowing Samir's personality, my personality. I'd like to think that he was right about that. I really enjoy coaching Samir. He wants to get better. He's emotional. He's accountable. Those are great qualities to combine. And I thought he had a good relationship with Coach Wade. And I would imagine that since he spent his first couple of years there, he did a lot of growing up there and a lot of developing there, and he has just continued that here at Auburn. But I may not have taken Samir, if given the opportunity, had Will not made such a strong character reference for him.
You mentioned that this is a quadrant 1 opportunity. Do you look at where you kind of had wins in the farm? And I think right now Washington might be the only quadrant 1 win you guys have.
That can move depending upon how teams go throughout the season. Back when we won it, we thought it would be, and then back in the end of December, it wasn't any close to being a quadrant 1 win. Now it is. So these things are all moving targets, depending on how people finish up. But yeah, we pay attention, especially to quadrant 1 and 2 wins. I think those are the ones that you got to get. You can't have bad losses, and you got to have enough quadrant 1 and 2 wins. I think right now we're 4th in the SEC in quadrant 1 and 2 wins.
How important is it to start strong on the road, given the struggles
Absolutely, another great question. I think it's the key to winning on the road, is to starting well. It's easier said than done. It sounds good, but the reality is, if you don't start well, you can continue to compete and claw and scratch and fight, and you can still have a chance. But if you start well, um, it just has a better chance to end well. I think the opponent knows you're there for a reason. I think the officials understand that you were prepared, and they're not going to take it from you. Um, and I just think it's always been a real key to being able to win on the road is to start well.
Bruce, how's Austin doing?
Okay, slow, but really working through it. So 5 minutes the first game, he was sore the day after, and we practiced him yesterday, and he was sore after. Felt better this morning. So he's not in risk of re-injuring, um, um, but he is definitely feeling it, and I think the more minutes he gets and the more he starts to play, the more that problem will be gone. But he's still feeling it, and so I'd like to get him some more minutes against LSU, but I wouldn't anticipate it's going to be a drastic change at all.
You had said Tuesday night after the game you figured guys like Jared and Chuma, who got banged up in the Florida game, would be sore the next day, and you were going to give the guys off on Wednesday. How did everybody go back and respond?
I kept Jared off on light duty yesterday when we had a good hard practice contact. Chuma just had a pain in his ass, so that's all it was. Not that he is one, because he is not, but he had one, and he played through it. That's really good stuff there.